Hello, everyone. Rod shared drama from the back seat when I was doing ride share. That was a long time ago, not too long, but long enough for me. Good days, but the day's over. There would sometimes be drama in the back seat. I mean, one particular ride I had, I was taking the client home, and she was a Latina woman. She was going off. I mean, going off on the father of her child. Now, I would tell you what she said. However, I can't tell you because I don't know Spanish, so I didn't know what she was saying, but I could just tell by the tone, and she started talking extremely fast. I was like, wow. Now, mind you, it's late at night. I'm driving her to where she needs to be. Again, I'm not eavesdropping, but she's so loud. It's like, I'm like, wow. She wasn't saying it with love. Kind of wish I had like somewhat of a translator built into my vehicle, so when individuals spoke in languages other than English, it could just pick up. But that's totally different. On a whole another, that's something else for the future, maybe. But yeah, that drama in the back seat is real. Now, I know it was real because, like I said, she was talking very fast in Spanish, but her last two sentences, she said them in English. And I'm like, okay, gifted, talented. But I also thought she meant that. And what did she say? You all were wondering. Y'all may be wondering. She said, "You're not gonna see your son. You don't do nothing for your son. That when I'm done with you." I was like, wow. I wish I knew more to the story. Just an acquisitive person, something that maybe could help me in the future. But that was one ride. Then there was another situation where I had picked up a client. He was in town on business. He was in the back seat going at it with his wife. It was it wasn't like major, but I could just tell. I could tell twofold. One, of course, I could hear him talking. He was right behind me, and then he wasn't behind me, but he was in the back seat, like on the passenger side, but in the back. However, on this glorious ride, on the glorious day, I didn't really have no music playing because I was being considerate, so I could hear what she was saying, and I was like, wow. He was raising his voice, and maybe he didn't know it. Maybe subconsciously he didn't feel as though he was raising his voice. But from what I heard, he was raising his voice. And his wife was pissing him off. And I get it. Once they got off the phone, he shared with me, let's say his name was Matthew. Matthew shared with me that his wife was trying to change plans at the last minute. And they already had like a prior arrangement set up. And I was like, I couldn't really speak on it because he asked me what I thought. I was like, I don't know. I've never been married, so I can't speak on what I haven't partaked in. So he just went back to venting, aka expressing himself, aka complaining. Which, listen, that was part of my profession at the time. I was there to be of service to people in most normal ways. And being a listening ear, hey, things just got reiterated to me. And I was like, when I'm in a relationship, I must definitely avoid this drama. Now, with the woman, the Latina woman, she was going off on her baby father. Always two sides to a story. And I was like, what did he do? in the beginning, because it all starts in the beginning, almost like a good movie. It all starts in the beginning, right? But then the other part of me thought about what did she do and what did she not do. And then, far as the Matthew, he continued to share. As I was driving him downtown Dallas, he was telling me about how he met his wife 20 years ago, and you know, even in the beginning, they were different on that. Basically, she was a church goer woman, like a woman that always wanted to go to church. I mean, like all the time, Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday, and the way he was describing it, she had the energy like the preacher was her husband. I was like, interesting. Though I didn't say it out loud, I always thought, hopefully, she do not sit in the preacher's lap. But we all know what that means. All of those that were raised in the church, brought up in the church, we know what that means. That means don't be sleeping around with the preacher. I don't know. But I did say to myself, well, Matthew should have checked that in the beginning when they first got married. But since he didn't, I mean, before they, was going through the courting process, through the vetting process. But since he did it, now he's indulging in drama. TNT would have been proud. TNT would have been proud. Because that's the only time I deal with drama is when I watch TNT. But back to ride share drama from the back seat. And by the time we got closer and closer to his destination, he was like, "Do you have any kids?" I was like, "Nah, I don't have no kids. I mean, no wife, no kids." That was always my, was my thing, was my rule. He was like, "You don't have to deal with drama." And I was thinking, yeah, that's true. Even if I had a wife and kids, I still want to deal with no drama. That's crazy. Why? Because there's no need for it. I mean, there's disagreements and things, but there's really no need for no drama, you know. But those were two experiences that I had when I was doing rideshare, where I was like, they're going to definitely talk when Matthew gets back home. I think Matthew was from like Idaho. I was like, man, he ain't changed in 20 years. His wife was still the same way. And as far as the Latina that was yelling at her baby father, he should still try to be in his son's life, objectively speaking, but he shouldn't get back with her. But easier said than done. He could have been married. I don't know. She did try to holler at me as I was, about to drop her off, but I was like, nope. Nope, for obvious reasons. That's a negative. Um, but there's drama all around us. Definitely doing rideshare. And those of you all that have done rideshare, you all can tell me what you think. And those of you all that have done rideshare by way of just sitting in the back seat, you definitely can tell me what you think. Because that don't mean you were part of the drama if you were in the back seat. It could have been your rideshare driver, him or her tripping about something. Yeah, just tell me what you think. But that's all for today. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, click the link below to purchase my book. It could be for yourself, for a family member, for a friend, or even for an enemy. But yeah, that's all for today. So you all have a good one. Talk to you later. Peace.